A Houston Renaissance man recently shared a Hollywood-esque picture looking a whole lot like Jack Nicholson. And he's
Oh,
joining us here today to share his latest happenings. Let's welcome Seamus Moran. Seamus, thank you so much for sharing your space with us. Tell us what is new and happening. I know you've got a whole lot going on.
oh. Well, Lisbeth and Houston City Beat, how nice of you guys to ask me on. I appreciate that. When I
Yeah.
ran into when I ran into you guys at Moni's Pizza, uh, I recognized you because I've been keeping up with Houston City Beat for a while. So I knew both of y'all's name and what you were doing, and that you were at like the best pizza place in Houston.
Bonnie's is pretty good. Have you had their extra crispy crust on the pizza?
Oh no, I like it so much there. I try not to go too often,
Okay.
but I'll
Well,
keep that in mind.
in my opinion, the best way to have pizza is extra crispy crust, so it's not like all soggy.
Yes, I
So
do.
that's my go-to.
No, all right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but enough about pizza. Seamus, tell us what is going on. You've got movies going on. You've
Ah,
got tell us about this picture. That's what caught my attention.
uh,
You were on set somewhere, and I
oh,
promise you, I'm not kidding. You looked like Jack Nicholson. I was like, what
oh,
is Seamus doing? I've got to find out. So that's why you're
oh.
here.
Okay. Well, that uh, is a movie produced here in Houston called Death Merchant that I was invited to, and that was out at the Katie Marquis Cinema, and they had a red carpet event with all the actors and all the crew that helped them make that movie, and they played the movie. And I found out all about how hard it is to make a movie from Janet Wang, who's an actor, one of the principals in the movie, and I just got to meet all the folks and hear how hard that is to do. And they really did a great job because it was under my radar that they were filming a pretty big production right here in Houston. And I watched it. They answered any questions afterwards, and now they're going to get it distributed. I would think they would have an easy time with that because I thought it was a really cool movie.
Yeah. So what did you love the most about the movie?
Well, a popular question that people asked was, "What was the body count?" So the
Oh,
idea is, this is a gangster
wow.
mafia movie, right?
A
So
gangster mafia movie?
it is a yes, it's
Oh,
definitely it's yeah, five families, and the character has to get his daughter back. He has to kill the head of the five families in 24 hours. So that makes for a pretty high body count.
wow.
In a fun kind of way. You know, it's a real action movie. Yeah, and you'll recognize places in Houston and League City, and I think Clear Lake. Yeah, so they really had to. It took them a long time to make it, but I was happy to go there and experience that because I'm kind of on the other side of filmmaking. My newest documentary, Today's the Day, Tarot, the first of a four-part series, just debuted last week at Notsuoh. I think,
Okay.
yeah. So Notsuoh, I think you're familiar with it. That's Houston spelled backwards. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I have heard of this place that's Houston spelled backwards.
Yes. And it was a thing back in the day for some kind of festival back in the early 1900s where they spelled Houston backwards, and that was the name of the festival. And the building goes back to like I want to say it was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And yeah, I thought it would be a good location to shoot because it's so colorful inside. There's so many rooms. And I worked with a couple of Houston City College students that were really eager to help. And that was the first of a four-part series dealing with cards. So tarot cards was up first, playing cards is up next, then trading cards, and then immigration or green cards would be on deck.
Oh, okay. So this is a documentary that you are. What is your involvement in the documentary?
I am the producer and director.
Okay. So was this your idea to put this together?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh, okay. So what I love ideas. Okay. I love the whole concept of because ideas always come to me, and my favorite part of an idea is when it actually comes to fruition and you're like, I did that. I was a part of creating this
Oh,
thing. So
yeah.
how did it start for you? Was it like a dream? Was it a thought? Was it you were inspired by something that you saw?
Well, first I was asked by the college to make something that would be interesting to run on Houston City Television because uh, we have a lot of student programs, and then we have a lot of talk shows and board meetings and stuff, but we don't have like sort of this would fall into maybe a sort of a mythical, philosophical uh, kind of thing that deals with tarot cards and the history of them, the artwork and psychology behind them. And they approved two ideas that I had for me to produce. And I, um, I think this one, it just so happened that Notsuoh was having its 30th anniversary uh, 4-day weekend, and this kicked that off. That wasn't in my plans to begin with. It was just something I was doing for the City College television station. But so it kicked off there in their dome theater, which is a 20-foot screen with surround sound, and they played a few other short films that night, and then they continued the celebration. So that's just a fascinating place that someone took a chance on in downtown Houston like 30 years ago. Bought this old dilapidated building. Back then, people weren't coming into downtown Houston, and they weren't staying after work if they worked downtown Houston.
Mhm.
But nowadays, it's a whole different story, and he's kind of at the epicenter of all the stuff that you can do downtown Houston. So props to him for figuring that out 3 decades ago.
Yeah, yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. So your first documentary series is about tarot cards. Your second one is about
Playing cards.
playing
So
cards.
yes, I have a father-son duo, two magicians. There's not too many father-son magicians in town, and these guys are professionals, Jake and David Rangel. And so the idea was to get two more or however many students uh, to make the second part in the series. So the series is called Today's the Day, and the subject matter changes each time. So today's the day tarot, today's today turn of the card, which would be the working title for the one with playing cards, and then immigration and baseball or any kind of trading cards, and then immigration, alien, resident alien cards, which could be pretty topical, I think, when I get around to making that one. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. One of the students I worked with, she's graduated now, Issa. She did the audio for the documentary film, and she is a really up and coming artist here in Houston, and she'll be playing at Notsuoh at the end of this month. I think the last Wednesday of the month, the 27th at Notsuoh. Her name is
Okay.
Issa. Yeah, that's what
Isa.
she goes by. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's new to America from Mexico, and Pega, who helped me with all the graphic design for the film, is a graphic design specialist, and she's new to America from Iran.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, on a side note, I would love to connect with both of them and invite them to come on and share their stories because we love to share stories
I know that.
about people in the Houston area, Houstonians. We love to talk about Houston. So going back to the tarot card, did you bring in tarot readers to be a part of the documentary? How did that work?
Yes, Amber Ambrose is the tarot practitioner. She's the one here in Houston, in Texas, really. And we agreed to meet up. I was just Facebook friends with her, but we had so many mutual friends that I thought, she'd be the perfect person for this. And so we met at a cool coffee shop in Houston that seems to be just getting more popular, Slow Pokes, uh, which is I'm a big fan of it's called Slow Pokes. So she
Slow
read my
pokes or slow boat?
Slow Pokes,
Slow poke.
Pokes, Slow Pokes. Yeah.
Okay, sounds like my kind of place.
Oh, it is. There's more. There's like 6 or 7 of them now. Anyways,
Oh,
we met
okay.
at we met at the original one in Oak Forest, and we just hit it off right off the bat. I told her my idea for this, and she read my cards. Um, have you ever had your tarot cards read?
Well, that's probably, since you're asking me, I'll tell you. I would rather not allow someone into that space of mine
Oh,
and let them, because you never know what's on the other side of that. So that's why I
but
choose. But people do as they want. Me personally, I just don't go down that road. But it's fascinating to me how
it is.
accurate it can be.
But,
It's usually right on the money.
well, there are a lot of people that same way of thinking that you just mentioned, and Issa and Amber had never met, so while I was setting up, they got to talk for about 20 minutes, and then she just did the reading, and it just turned out that it was a really great reading, especially for a young person that wants, that is a good musician, and I think if she sticks with it, she'll be a great musician, someone that'll be playing to large crowds sooner rather than later. And
Yeah.
she's doing all the right things right now. And this, you know, she hadn't had her cards read. Well, I think she had once a long time ago, but yeah. So this was all documented. They were all happy with it. Everyone was happy with when they finally saw it. We did a screening at Angel Share. Are you familiar with that? You,
Yes. Mhm.
yeah, that's a really cool place that
Yeah.
is a charity bar. So they give, after they pay all their bills and their staff and everything, they give their proceeds to a different charity each month. And so I did a screening there for some people that helped me on it, and then we had the debut at Notsuoh, which was really well attended. That was a big weekend for them. And now I'm just working on the next part. This will be breaking news for Houston City Beat.
Ooh,
Uh,
we love breaking news. Tell me more.
okay. Well, while I was editing this, it occurred to me that it could be a great horror movie, a limited edition or limited series, as they're called, so 4 parts. So, what happens for the plot with Today's the Day Tarot would be what happens after the reading. That's when the horror movie starts.
Ooh,
So,
sounds
yeah,
scary.
and that's one. And that's horror movies are white hot right now. The movie Obsession by the young 20-something Curry Barker, I think his name is. That's a
Hmm.
really yeah, it's a very popular movie right now. So it's having sort of, I don't think it ever goes out of style. Every now and then, just people want to get scared, and now it's having a moment again. And his movie is Obsession is really really quite popular. So this would be more geared towards a cable channel, a 4 part limited edition horror series based on what happens after you have your tarot card reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could be creepy. Yes,
Uh,
it's not. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, so the next documentary that you're working on is about, did you say sports cards?
well, those are going to be in there. Yeah, the original idea was playing cards in
Okay.
conjunction with the United States Playing Card Company, which is the manufacturer of playing cards. Those are, chances are, if you've ever played cards, you're using a United States Playing Card Company deck. And they have all sorts of decks. They've been around since, I want to say, late 1800s. And so I wanted to get them on board because I'm always looking for sponsorship and for music as well. I want to keep Uh, for the first part, the tarot film, I used copyright-free music from a big online library called APM, and it's a great library with all copyright-free music, so I wouldn't have any problems broadcasting it anywhere. But for this one, I'd like to use Houston musicians to do the soundtrack for the next one. So I want to get like more people involved behind the scenes for music in particular, and then college students, especially those that are in filmmaking or theater or lighting or audio or graphic design. Um, so a little bit of a bigger scope on the next installment, but um, not enough where it gets convoluted, where there's just too many people and things start happening where, everyone can't be in the same place at the same time. So I like to work with a small crew. Yeah.
Yeah, understood. So let me ask you this, because you're very familiar with the film and music industry in Houston. Who has the best program for film, music, that part of the industry in the Houston area?
Well, Houston City College, I'm not just playing favorites. If you go to look at their facilities and the amount of equipment that they've invested in, especially out of the A-Leaf campus, which is where the West Houston Institute is, which is part of Houston City College. They have the green screen stuff. They have they have the sound effects room, the Foley studio, where you can mic up for people walking on different surfaces. Like if you're, every movie has to add the sound of the movie afterwards, besides the dialogue. So if you hear someone walking down a sidewalk, they have cement in there that you can walk down and mic that. Every kind of effect for door opening, thunder, lightning. And the amount of equipment that the students told me, I was at HCC for 10 years, and I really did hear this a lot, that they have the equipment and they let you take it out, right? So you give them a proposal as a student, and here's the project you want to make. And then they guide you along the way to make, the best project that you can. And I've seen some of the stuff that they've made. It's great. I will say that University of Houston also has Coog TV, as it's called. University of Houston Coog TV, which is a student-run television station, which is also very good. So those would be my two picks. I think the affordable one would be Houston City College.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. And so when is so this next documentary, when do you have a date set that you're planning to roll this out?
Well, I'm in pre-production now, so that's all the stuff that makes it easier once you actually go on location to do this. So the idea is not to script it, but to have bullet points rather of where they should hit their marks for what's being told. So at the underlying theme of the playing card in the series that deals with playing cards is there is a swindle going on. The father-son duo swindle an unsuspecting college student or two. So this one is a little more kind of a throwback, like Paper Chase is a good, if you remember that movie from way back when, where they're just a father-son or a father-daughter duo that swindle their way through life, basically. I think that's the right name. Paper Chase, Paper Moon, maybe. Your viewers can correct me. But so this one's it's a little more lighthearted, and it's got a little bit more action. There's a thing with there's a art called cardistry. So it's the art of handling cards, and there are some people that literally make a living as hand models, so to speak, dealing with cards. So they can be the one that's shuffling the cards in some big budget movie with a big name actor, but the actor doesn't know how to shuffle cards to make it look impressive. So these people can do that. So it's a little bit arty in that regard, and a little bit more fun, because it's dealing with just a deck of cards as opposed to a deck of tarot cards.
Yeah. That sounds really exciting, and we would love to be able to share as your documentary continues to move through, and share as much as you would like us to share with our audience. and bring as much attention to what you're doing as possible. So please count on us as a resource. And that is all the time we have for today, my friends.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you would like to add, Seamus? Is there like a way for people to get in touch with you, for people to be able to connect with you?
Yeah, anyone can email me at thatsoundistaken@gmail.com. So thatsoundistaken@gmail.com. If they have ideas or if they want to get involved, especially for musicians, I had some in mind, but nothing written in stone to actually provide the sound and maybe the sound effects too for the next installment of Today's Today. So thatsoundistaken@gmail.com, and they can write me and ask me anything they like.
And they can also find you on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. They can, and they can find my YouTube channel if they look for the picture of me with the name Seamus, Seamus Moran, and it's on YouTube. So I think I'm not the only Seamus on there, but there's not too many Seamus Morans. But the key to it is just to look for the picture of me, and you can watch everything that I have up there so far.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And for more community stories, you can find us on HoustonCityBeat.com. I'm Lisbeth Newton, and we'll see you in the next story.
Thank you.